Hello, a very warm welcome back to all of you. Today we will be looking at the topic entitled What is Beauty? Within the harshness of life, we see darkness, we see light, we see strengths, we see weaknesses. And so today I will be putting questions to a senior yogi to ask her what is beauty within the context of the law of karma, destiny and choice. Hello, Sister Denise. It's fabulous having you back with us in the studio.
Hello, Magla. Thank you.
Okay, so the subject of what is beauty. You have delivered some harsh truths to the audience, and for those who are brave enough to still listen to more, how does one, when facing one's own karmic burden on a daily basis, see the beauty of life or find the beauty within life?
I think that I like to just zoom all the way out to see the whole universe and the beauty of the balance of everything, the day, the night. One interesting analogy is that if you really want to understand the beauty of a diamond, you have to put it on some black velvet.
That is a lovely picture, yes.
Because you can understand it in comparison with its opposite or its contrast. There's another statement that came from one of the Romantic poets of the 19th century. Beauty is truth. Truth is beauty. You don't need to know anything else.
Oof, that's deep. Truth is beauty. It's quite lovely, yeah.
When you're meditating, you're moving out of the realm of sense perception, and you're moving into the realm of meaning more than sense perception. And because of that, one aspect of beauty is visually attractive or auditorily attractive, beautiful music, beautiful pictures, beautiful scenery, whatever. But the beauty of the universe, the extraordinariness, the balance of everything, the harmony of everything, takes you to the beauty of God. And it is said in India, there's a very beautiful description of God, Satyam Sundaram Shivam. God is Shiva, the benefactor, God is beauty, and God is truth. So there's a very deep connection between truth and beauty. And if something is right, say Feng Shui, Vastu Shastra is the Indian version of geomancy, and if everything is right, it's beautiful because it's in harmony. If a person has got all the different aspects of their soul in balance, that is also right, and that's also beautiful. And so you can relate to things in terms of their, you can say, cosmic beauty, or the depth, even in sometimes some tragic situation, out of that comes something extraordinary, and it is beauty. In India there is an expression, dangerous beauty.
That's curious. What does that mean?
When you're watching a volcano erupt, it's extraordinarily beautiful, but highly dangerous if you happen to be in the way.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But there's something about nature when you see the extraordinary acts of nature that can be there, which are, you know, when you're on the ground, maybe not so comfortable, but from far you see how extraordinary it is, how beautiful it is. You know, there's a film called Life is Beautiful, in which a man in a concentration camp is giving fatherly love to his son in the most desperately terrible situation, but he made everything into a game, and so his son didn't suffer. So there's many different forms or circumstances in which you can extract beauty or perceive beauty that otherwise you would see as ugly or terrible.
We spend a lot of time in this series discussing what creates negative karma and what creates, to use your terminology, pure karma. This world is filled with beauty, and my mind is drawn to attractive people. Now, within that, my sense is there lies a danger in there as far as the law of karma is concerned.
Another kind of dangerous beauty.
Yes, precisely. Not necessarily volcanic, but equally dangerous. So we are inclined as human beings to feel attracted to the beauty of others and repulsed by what we consider that to be ugly within some. So what is then your take on beautiful people in terms of the law of karma?
If you're seeing the beauty in a person, it's the inner beauty. I know people who don't have particularly beautiful bodies, but when they smile, when their eyes light up, all of that fades and disappears because you just see this inner light coming through, and then their love, their gentleness, their honesty, that comes through, and you really, your inner eye, your third eye gets activated because you see the reality of the person, which is not necessarily reflected in their physical body, or they may not be very well dressed or something like this. And on the other hand, you may have someone who's extraordinarily beautiful but inside hollow, or quite corrupt. So you need to use your inner eye to see the real beauty.
There is an expression within spirituality of not to become trapped in someone's beauty. What does that mean, and what is that warning all about?
Well, the problem for people is that they just get intoxicated by beauty. And I know people like that, and they just cannot get beyond the beauty, and then they do get trapped. And our world of shopping and clothes and accessories and plastic surgery and everything is because it is well known by the different industries that you can catch people with beauty. A car with beautiful lines may not work very well, and somebody may buy it because it looks good, but you have to see on the inside. But because people are so dominated by sense perception, they will judge quickly what something seems to be without taking care about whether or not it is that on the inside. This is our ignorance, this is our lack of education, but because you see we live in a materialistic world which is dominated by commerce, and so whatever sells is considered good, and whatever maybe doesn't sell, the depth of a person, you can't really sell that. But that is of more lasting value, and it is of much higher value, real beauty.
What comes to mind is the quagmire of relationships. And when people date, they tend to go for the hottest person in the room, because I want that because it's beautiful. I want that for myself. And that person next to me will make me look good. Where does law of karma fit into that picture? And of course, having somebody in your life, we know what follows. So walk us through how that fits into the bigger picture.
It was interesting you used the word it for a person, because somebody sees a beautiful looking woman and says that is an it, that's an object.
Or a beautiful looking man.
You see a beautiful looking woman and you say, if I have that woman or that beautiful looking man next to me, it's going to make me look good. But it's an it, it's an object, But what's really going on is there's a person inside, and if you have someone who looks good externally but who doesn't look good internally, and you're getting close and involved, then you may be getting involved with somebody who karmically is going to give you trouble. You're attracted by the physical, and if the inside is not corresponding to the outside in your interaction, you're going to have to deal with that, and you may get quite a lot of disillusionment because you got deluded by your sense perception. And in the Bhagavad Gita in India, the famous scripture of India, it says your problem is your sense perception and your objects of sense perception, they delude you.
In what way?
Looks good but isn't good.
The same applies to people?
Oh, same, exactly.
So our illusion is that if this woman or this man looks attractive and beautiful and all the other accolades that we use in today's world, our illusion is that we think that person is good because they're attractive.
Yes, that's a delusion.
You are saying go beyond the physical.
What I'm saying is look before you leap.
Yeah, except when it comes to love. Fools do rush in where angels fear to tread. We all make that mistake.
With love, you see, you fall in love with the shell.
Oof, God, that's painful to listen to. Seriously?
Well, a body is a shell for a soul. You fall in love with the shell, and the soul is there inside the shell. Of course, the shell will deteriorate, and you don't know the karma of the soul. And when you get involved with someone, you're attracted physically, you fall in love, all of this. But then that person has a history, and that person's history comes along with that person. So you get together with their history as well as them, their sanskaras, their tendencies, their kind of person that they are. You know, you get the whole package. And if you were imagining something which doesn't correspond with what you get, you know, it's not like a physical object. You buy it and it doesn't turn out to be right. You can return it, get your money back. You can't do that with people.
There's no return to sender. Mind you, divorce comes close.
Well, people break up because they get this disillusion. Oh, I didn't know you were like this. Well, you didn't check, you didn't look, you know. You could find out pretty easily if you did. And so this is why it's very good to not rush into something, to spend time and really discover the person and find out, is this what I really want? If your karma, your kind of self, and that kind of self is compatible, and you are motivated by the same sort of things, you have the same views in life, the same values and so on, you're going to be much more compatible, because the physical look soon disappears out of your mind, and the deeper things become more and more important. But you see, if you are strongly attracted to someone, this is very often an indicator of a karmic account which needs to be settled. And you may have created a karmic account with someone who's not at all your kind of person. So you get caught up with somebody with whom you're very incompatible, and then your relationship is a very unpleasant one because you have to suffer, and maybe they have to suffer. And this is the settlement of karma. And when it's settled, when it's fully paid, then you can part your ways. But one of the difficulties is that you have a relationship of bondage, a relationship of suffering, and you become very reactive, so you will increase the suffering, and you will also increase the bondage, and then it'll take longer and be harder to separate. You have these love-hate relationships.
There are many who aspire to be physically beautiful. I mean, the cosmetic industry globally is billions of currency, rands, pounds, yen, dollars, whatever. There are many who have an obsession with looking more attractive than what they currently perceive themselves to be. And there are many who hate what they see in the mirror and can't do anything about it. How does one make peace with who and what you are like?
This mantra, you can say, I am not my body.
And how does that help you?
Well, when you look at your face in the mirror, this is not me, this is my face. I am not my face. Because what people do is they say, you are beautiful, or you are not beautiful enough, and you take it personally. And it's all about who is more beautiful than whom. The magazines, the fashion, the marriage industry, all of this is all about what you look like. It's not about what you are like, because what you look like is marketable. What you are like is out of range of the commercial world.
Oh, whoa, whoa, pause, boom. Got that? Wow, I'm feeling it. That was big, what you just said. Yeah. Say that, give us more details about that.
This message comes from your birth. You are beautiful, you are ugly, you are plain, you are ordinary, plain Jane, you know, all of these expressions are given. Someone
Ugly
is
duckling,
cute,
etc. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you're reflected back from your parents, from your friends, from the people in the community, whoever. They're always going to make comments about your looks. You're too fat, you're too thin, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too dark, you're too pale, you're too whatever it is never okay. And so you learn that whatever it is I am, it's not okay. And so your whole life is about changing what you are into something that you're not, which is always going to be a tragedy. And so the problem is how people look at each other, and it goes back to what I call the toxic conventional morality and the moral authority figures in people's lives, their parents, their teachers, their religious leaders, always making comments about a person's looks. Oh, you're only a girl, girls are no good. Excuse me, what's wrong with that? When you get into awareness about karma on a deep level, and you understand there's reincarnation involved as well, every soul has the same number of male and female bodies, so don't tell me I am a this or I am a that, or I am a dark or I am a light. This is my vehicle. Don't tell me I am an object, you see. But it's so difficult for a child who doesn't know anything to say, excuse me, parents, teachers, religious leaders, what are you saying? You're lying. You can't see me.
Yeah. It's just that when one is young, or even in one's 20s, or perhaps even older, actually it's not age related, it is so easy to buy into the lie because the whole world is selling the lie. Beauty is sought after. It's like the best thing in the world is to be what you see on the glossy covers of the magazine, every magazine on the shelf. It's essential that you must have a beautiful car and a beautiful home and a beautiful spouse and beautiful children. It's an aspiration.
A beautiful dog, beautiful cat.
Yeah, beautiful clothes. It's like, if it's not beautiful, discard it. We're so obsessed with it.
Physical beauty, we need to qualify it. We're obsessed with physical beauty, visual candy, eye candy you call it.
Yeah, I've heard that word before. Nasty term, eye candy. Nasty
But that's
term.
what it is, eye candy, or ear candy for the sound.
Yeah.
You know, the world as we know it cannot prevail or persist when this is being challenged, and actually we are challenging it. And challenging the externals is to challenge the whole way the world is set up. So what we're doing is probably not going to be very well received, but it's nevertheless very important in order for people to be at one with themselves, in order for people to be in contact with themselves, in order for people to be able to face the lie, stand up for themselves and be what they really are and thrive. So this is a big piece of work that we're trying to do, but that's the bottom line.
Sister Denise, when one walks around any of the Brahmakumari campuses, especially in India, one sees a sea of white, and most BK sisters dress like you, which I would call simplicity. It's, you know, the middle part, the hair and a plait or a braid and the white sari. What is the message here about beauty?
Actually, it's very beautiful, this look. And it's elegant, it's classic. One aspect of it is you're not going to stand out physically.
Is that the aim?
I think that's part of it. Also, I think it's designed to allow for the inner beauty to shine through. And the inner beauty is intangible, it's subtle, it's bright, it's light. Also the collective, when you have all of these people in white, you don't really see individuals, you see the gathering and you feel the atmosphere, because when the gathering of yogis are in yoga, it's a very beautiful atmosphere, and this is real beauty. When a human being or a gathering of human beings are attuned with God, it fills the atmosphere with that beautiful feeling of spirituality, spiritual love, spiritual peace, spiritual power. And this is the intangible substance that people crave. So this is what happens when you look after the physical in this way.
Let's talk about the Supreme Soul. In light of the fact that you equated truth with beauty, what does this say about God?
God is completely integrated, harmonious, perfect, and remains like that, but is hidden from view because of not being physical. And so this beauty of God, when God speaks to you, the soul, God will awaken your own inner beauty. God is everything to do with harmony, completely free from being affected by what goes on in the world, but totally compassionate and loving, deeply loving, who wishes only for everyone to become the very best that they could possibly be, to reach their perfect state. And this is the interaction between a soul and God, is that God brings the soul to an equivalent condition to be the same like God. Very beautiful.
Okay, so that was a beautiful episode. What, in spiritual terms, is meant by the expression a beautiful mind?
A beautiful mind is one who can see beyond the immediate. You know, when you see the immediate, you see the flaws. When you see beyond the immediate, you see the essence. So a beautiful mind can catch the essence, catch the significance, the meaning of everything, and dwell on that. A beautiful mind will not get distracted by things that you could complain about or find fault. You will not look at another person and compare yourself superior or inferior. You'll appreciate what is there and who is there in front of you, and you will love them. This is a beautiful mind.
That is beautiful. Thank you. So thank you, Sister Denise. That was a beautiful experience for me. I hope it was the same for you. And I would ask you to look at your life and ask yourself, am I beautiful inside? And how can I become more beautiful while invoking the presence of God into my life? Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time. Goodbye.